be reviewing a show called I Shouldn't Have Said That Podcast. This was a suggestion from BranDon. We have both listened separately. We have not discussed it with each other beforehand. Let's get into it. The show hosted by Sy'rai Smith, who happens to be the daughter, the Nepo baby of Brandy and Big Bert. And Brandy was the R&B singer from the 90s, early 2000s.
Hey, she was also Moesha on UPN, so don't forget about that. She had a huge singing career with That Boy Is Mine with Monica. And then, as you said, the father is Big Bert, who he himself is a very wealthy record executive, so he does fine. He's a producer. And so, yes, Sy'rai Smith is a Nepo baby, and we have this podcast. What I did was I wanted to do the Fart Fetish podcast, but you had already done that.
You had sent me that, and I said, BranDon, how do you not know that we've already covered the Fart Fetish podcast? It's all anyone's ever talking about.
Please.
It's our breakdown of the Fart Fetish podcast, but I'm all right. I was a little disappointed, but
that's on me. So I just went to Google and I typed in new podcast, and I wanted to go to the news section to see what everybody's talking about. They were talking about Amanda Bynes, who I prayed would drop another episode. She didn't.
She quit again. Did you see the latest news?
Yes. She
wants to focus on becoming a manicurist. She quit, and then she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to quit. We got a new episode. I got a guest. We got this. It's going to drop Friday, and then never dropped, and then she quit again.
I have a feeling she'll be back, and we'll be rating Gay Jesus on another day.
I hope so, because honestly, BranDon, I have it penciled in for 2024. That's how I'm going to make half of my money, is Amanda Bynes' podcast. So I really need her to get on that. It's going to be very important. Thank you. I know.
It's just a bunch of question marks after that.
Yeah. What else are you going to need to make money?
The other suggestion that the mass media, that the news column of Google told me about, was this podcast, that I shouldn't have said that podcast with Sy'rai Smith. So that's why I chose it, because this is what the mass media wants everybody to listen to.
Okay. So I should also mention that her uncle is Ray J.
That's
fun.
True.
Yes.
I've seen him have sex before.
Ray J is the one who made Kim Kardashian famous with his penis.
That's true. It's a very popular video on the World Wide Web, I've been told.
Correct. So I want to start off because, of course, Brandy's daughter, she's 21 right now. Of course, she's going to be a singer as well. I was checking out her latest music video, and this couldn't be more predictable as far as the song lyrics, the style of music. I know we're going to get struck for this. I just want to play a minute or two, give you guys an idea. What is that?
Go
thing?
on.
Hold on. There's more of this like notey bullshit stuff. Hold on.
I'm on it. Don't blame me, I got it.
All right, so it's very breathy and whatever. It's called On My Own, and she's driving around in a Jeep convertible, and this is the chorus right here. Very predictable chorus for a Nepo baby who's trying to make it on her own, obviously. Forget about who her mom is and her father. She's doing this because she's talented.
I'm still coming into my own.
She's still coming into her own. What do you think she's going to rhyme that with? If you said own, you were correct.
And I'll be doing it on my own. Still getting better.
I've never heard, like, a lot of times, I don't listen to R&B, but like in hip-hop songs from when I was growing up, they'd be braggadocious. They'd talk about how much money they have before they made it big and all this shit. And she's like, listen, I'm still working it out. There's some kinks.
Doing my best.
I am a Nepo baby.
I actually didn't see that coming. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
Refreshing.
Yeah, a little refreshing. Yeah. She's cute, right?
Sure.
Yeah, she's 21 years old. She's got 384,000 Instagram followers. So she does have a following on Instagram. Only 1,700 Twitter followers, though. I don't know what that means. That's kind of a weird stat there. But she has 30,000 YouTube subscribers, which is what I think this whole podcast is supposed to be about, YouTube. Because I listened audio only, and it was extremely hard to follow because it was broken into 3 parts. If you want to play my cut number 1, this is just the entire opening you get of this series of podcasts.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Sy'rai, and welcome to my new podcast, I Shouldn't Have Said That. This is the podcast where you guys were not expecting me to be talking about dating, working out, body positivity, anything. But this episode today is about dating and relationships.
Yeah, and from there it jumps right into a Bachelor-esque type of game show where she brings in 6 dudes, all actors and models, and they sit down for a round of speed dating, which is really weird for the audio listener because it's like, I can't see these swinging dicks. Right. I don't know which one I want to root for. So I don't know. It was bizarre to me.
Can I just point out, because she said body positivity was one of the things she'll be talking about on here, that actually Dr. Steve sent me a link to the Quartering's new video and pointing out that all of these like obese body positivity people who've had like podcasts and TikToks, and one of them even had a radio show, they're all dead. There's like a half a dozen of them, and they're all just like, you know, you can still be healthy and you can be big and it's cool, and then it's like died at 37. Like, just showed all the different dates.
It's more dangerous than like ice fishing in Alaska.
Yes, correct. All right, so do you want to? I'm going to let you play your clips here because I actually took a different angle on this one.
Oh, great. BranDon. No, then let's get right into The Bachelor because
take it away.
Bachelor number 1, I call him swinging dick number 1. He comes in and he's got the hard-hitting questions right out of the gate.
Why did your last relationship end?
I just think sometimes men get a little bit intimidated by what I do, or, you know, like, they're not really doing much. They get sucked into my world, and it might become just a little bit difficult for a man to be a man. And I feel like it shouldn't be that way. You should just be with me because you love me, not necessarily because you want something from me. Or
oh, everybody's still awake. So she dates losers that their parents aren't rich, and so that's the gist of these speed dating questions that she has. My favorite though was swinging dick number 2. There's a whole saga with this guy. Okay. Let's see.
I want to point out before we go any further, her titties be popping. In this outfit.
No, she's sitting at the table and her cans are on full display for every one of these dudes to see.
It's fantastic. Now, I will say that her mom, I went back and watched some Brandy videos, and her mom was a very attractive woman. Still is, actually. Very attractive woman. Also very slender. Had a really nice body. My body type that I'm into. This one, not so much. She's a little thicker than is typically where I go. But hey, she's accentuating the right assets here, though. She's doing the right thing. Yes. I got to give her credit for that.
I'm sorry.
She's also,
what are they drinking? Does that color occur in nature?
It's Banana Bag. BananaBag.org/WATP.
Holy shit, that looks toxic. Okay, please continue.
All right, let's find out the real questions you need to know when you're dating somebody. That's my cut 3.
Do I have another question?
how many Instagram followers do you have? Wait, do you have kids?
No kids.
Okay.
No kids.
Those are the 2 most important questions right there.
Okay.
Agreed.
Nah, I got no kids.
That you know of is correct.
Well, why do you ask followers? You think that matters?
No, I just like asking that because when people see my following, they get all like freaked out.
Those things are going to pop out. I'm sorry, I stopped listening. Those things are going to pop
That is very true.
any second now.
We're not missing anything with the audio because she's just
gravity.
bragging about her following. Like I said, 384,000 Instagram followers. So men get very intimidated when they date her and see that number. Whew.
Sure. It's a boner army going right there. Be careful.
So we hear a whole bunch of great buzzwords during this, vulnerability, letting the walls down, opening yourself up. Swinging dick number 2 comes in. This is my cut 4. This guy's so bored, he checks out right away.
What's your favorite physical attribute in the bed?
I don't know. I think that part.
What's your favorite physical attribute in the bed? Was that the question?
Yeah, is he reading a fortune cookie?
The fuck does that
he's
even
reading
mean?
These silly questions, and it's about to get hot, right? No, she's a boy.
Yeah. Well, it's like, do you like dick or balls? Like, what's the answer to what's your favorite physical
The brain. So sexy.
Yeah. I'm just into pillow talk.
I don't know. I think that part of that is something very intimate. It's not necessarily like something where I'm like me as a woman. I think most women know that it's we crave the intimacy of what we do. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Maybe I'm stereotyping, but men kind of crave something else.
All right, follow-up question. Butt stuff off the table.
Yeah. Physical, because that's not what it's about.
Right. So you
for me, it's caring
Goes
for
like
somebody,
this.
loving that person.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Showing them.
If you watch in slow motion, you can see exactly when he checked out. He's like, oh, all right, okay.
No, she is.
Can we
totally
get another round?
She's totally lost swinging dick number 2. He is gonzo. In fact, she stamps it by establishing herself as a stage 4 clinger. That's my cut 5.
That's my love language. It's like I love to be loved, as in like I love to be told that I'm loved. I'm gonna say this a million times. I'm so possessive. I don't know what it is. I cling on to people really easy. But if you do one thing, I'll let go. And you.
So did that make you scared to love?
No, not necessarily. Okay. The relationships that I've been in, I've valued my partners, but at the same time, when they
What about titty fucking? Are you scared of that?
do something wrong, it's the end of the world for me. I don't understand.
I'm very distracted. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. My fault. I'm paying attention now. I apologize.
Why that is.
So,
Damn it! Just as I was ready to pay attention. That was the end of it.
like I said, this guy is checked out. He is so done. In fact, she tells him that she hates when sex is expected from her male. He's not interested at all, but he has to say something. So he just starts rambling until he's saved by the bell.
I'm not even gonna lie. I used to be a forceful person. Not forceful, but as in like I kind of expected it.
I expect sex.
I don't know why.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy who pushes a chick down with the top of her head. I get it. I hear what he's
He
saying.
wants to get laid.
That's right.
Maybe because of my environment, maybe because of what I saw growing up, or whatever the case may have been. But I've came to realize that the more you force, the more it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? You have to attract it. You have to show. Even if you are showing the other things, you can't. Yeah.
He's happy.
Okay, right.
Someone just pulled the fire alarm. We got to get out of this thing.
Let the buzzer hit, and he was so happy. He even gave that guy like, "Hey, thumbs up, man! Thanks for saving me."
You got to get the fuck out of here.
So that pretty much wraps up the Bachelor segment, which was the first third of the podcast, and from there we go on to Amber Riley.
Unwatchable content right there. Yeah. Just
and for
uncomfortable.
For an audio-only listener, it makes 0 sense. So I don't even know why you
Who
would.
chose the giant room with one microphone?
Yeah, that doesn't help either. People in the Discord are asking if they're in a car.
Yeah. They'd be doing better. They'd be doing better.
But the next portion ends up being her interview with famous actress Amber Riley.
Yes.
So is that where your clips come in, or do you want me to just keep rolling?
Keep rolling, please.
Great. So the podcast for an audio listener finally starts. That's my number 7.
All right. Brandon, stop saying audio listener. This is a YouTube show. We're watching a YouTube show. That's what this is.
Okay.
All right? You don't wear that outfit if you want people to listen to your show. It doesn't make any sense.
Guys, I'm so excited. We are here with Miss Amber Riley. Hi, y'all. No, I'm so happy that you're...
Okay, can I point something out real quick?
Sure.
I have no idea who Amber Riley is.
Me neither.
Good.
Brandon, can you explain who Amber Riley is, please?
Oh, well, Amber Riley was on Glee. That's what I got from Googling her. Aside from that, I don't know anything else. But as we will learn in future cuts, she's a bad girl of Hollywood, man. You should know about her.
Yes, I should, definitely. She's very famous. Okay.
You're here. Thank you for doing this for me.
Of course. You know I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Yeah, so our episode today is about dating and how we navigate that as women. And so we really wanted your advice and your words on subjects like this. I think it's not really normal to talk about dating.
It isn't.
No, it's not normal at all. Nobody talks about dating these days.
Especially as a woman, 50% of the population who's out there dating.
No, I'm glad we finally have a podcast that can cover this
Finally,
stuff.
someone's doing it, yeah. It's not like the highest rated show on network TV or anything like that. Dating. No one talks about it.
But yes, she is wearing pajamas.
Okay, thank you.
I want you to take my next one, clip 8, out of context, Carl. I want you to answer this question as it's being asked to you.
Okay.
I really wanted your perspective on this, especially me being or dreaming to be as successful as you are and, just accomplishing everything. Like how is it difficult or is it not difficult? How do you navigate dating with being who you are and
Yeah, how do you do it, Carl? You're successful, you're handsome, you have all natural frosted tips. How do you do it?
All right, so here's the secret. It's very complicated, but you say, "Hey, can you read reviews from my show? Would you want to come on and read reviews from my show?" And then you wait about 5 or 6 or 7 years, and then eventually you wear them down. That's the secret to my success.
It seems to be working.
Thank you.
So this portion of the podcast, like I said, it's split into 3 weird portions. This second portion is the interview portion with Amber Riley, and this one dives into the vast dating advice that Amber has, including red flags. That's my number 9.
Like, what's your biggest red flag? Like, where you're like, absolutely not. Like, nothing.
I think my biggest red flag. Oh gosh.
You mean like a cape I wear, or?
I've been in a relationship for over a year. So it's hard, like, when I was dating to remember what my biggest red flag was. I'm also an Aquarius, so I kind of just, like,
You're my mama's side.
I know. I kind of just let people be and, like, go with the flow. Like, we're like aliens. Like, we're just like, yeah, you know, cool, do you? You know, we're totally that way.
Yeah, what do you try to avoid in someone that you date? Well, I'm an Aquarius. Oh, well, then never mind. I'm sorry I asked the question.
Yeah, enough said.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Always goes back to astrology with these chicks. I'm an Aries, and I was born the year of the rat, so we'll see how that turns out for me. And just so you guys know.
Well, then say no more, BranDon.
I don't know why they always do that, but I'm going to wrap up Amber Riley with this. Did you know? My number 10.
We have one last question, because we all know that you carried a whole TV show for like 1 million seasons, and just
on my back.
For real, on your back. But you've done so many things, and you just broke so many rules, and it's just like,
that's a dick thing to say. And she just go along with it. She's like, "Yep, that's true."
Did you know
there a whole
Amber
cast
Riley?
of people on Glee? There's a huge cast, right?
Yeah, and I'd say the most famous was the girl who got in trouble for something and the guy that died of a drug overdose. Not this one. But
I can tell they're real famous. You really threw out their names right now. Really proved your point with that one.
People listening know.
What's his
Like, oh yeah,
and...
I think his name is I don't know. The one guy that died. Everybody's saying, yeah, I know that one. So the podcast now shifts to a recap. They recap the dating, and they recap this interview with Amber Riley. And she does this with her 2 friends. And Sy'rai's one friend, I really like her. She's number 11.
Personally, me, I was a tad bit underwhelmed. I expected so much because we chose all of these great men that were beautiful, and they just kind of dropped the ball on me.
I feel like they were all fine, because we were on Instagram looking for these guys, and they were all great contenders until they opened their mouths.
Until they opened their mouths.
Yeah.
She's saying what everybody's thinking. Yes, that's true.
The guy on here, is he a gay guy?
Oh, I don't know.
He's overly animated. I was watching another episode. I think there's only 2 episodes so far, but I was watching the other episode where she was with her mom and her grandparents, and they had this cook-off thing. Mm-hmm. And I was going to pull clips of that and talk about it, but it looked like, to me, it was well produced, and they had a whole thing going on. It looked like morning television, like I'm watching GMA segment or something like that. It's just not interesting to me in any single fucking way.
But they definitely have the production value. The production value is there. They got money there.
There's money. There's money involved in this. They got their gay friend. What's her nuts? Yeah, they got it all going on for sure.
Yeah, there's credits at the end of the show. And my number 12 is the summary here. Number 12.
I really appreciate y'all, but I think my dating life, I'm gonna keep in my own hands.
Amen.
Never coming to y'all again.
Okay, well.
Never. Never. I'm not doing that again. Whoa. But if we, we win an Emmy off of this, maybe.
Part 2. Yeah.
If she wins an Emmy, they'll do it again. So number 1, the first quarter of this podcast that we listened to is all for naught, because she just said, screw those guys. I'm done with this. That was stupid. We're not doing
her
this.
friend goes, "Oh, those guys all suck." She goes, "Yeah, I know." Oh, okay, maybe scrap it, try something else then. Nope.
Right. And she thinks she's going to win an Emmy for this very first podcast episode. Good luck.
Probably not. So I know that Lucy Tightbox is interested in doing a dating show here on WTP. So we've learned what not to do. That's good.
Let's see. I also have their career goals. That's my number 13. Check this out.
Especially us three being, I think, very career focused. Trying to, get our stuff together. So when we are like 40, 50, we don't necessarily have to like stress or worry.
Bills are paid.
She said that she was working all throughout her 20s. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. I want to work all throughout my 20s.
Right.
Who takes their 20s off? She
I mean, I did.
I think I'm going to work all throughout my... Well, that's right. You followed the fucking dead around, but most of us...
This girl's got 8 to 9 years left of podcasting, and then she's set for life. That's
You're right. So that could be true. I don't know. She seems to be living the life, from what I can tell.
I only have one more clip, actually, and then I'm all wrapped up. And I want to leave you guys with some sage relationship advice, and that's my number 14.
I could use it.
I think my red flag, I think it's really similar to you as well. I think that's a big one because also, not to say that as a unit you can't pick up slack, because I feel like it definitely...
It's important.
Like Michelle Obama said, it's never 50-50, you know? But also it's important to know that you have to carry your own weight. And I think I'm really big on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You are really big on that.
Just like Michelle O said.
I like that they're going, well, Michelle Obama, who was married to the president for 8 years, imagine that sometimes she had to put his needs ahead of her own. Like, well, yeah, if you are going to marry a president, that's probably pretty good advice. But if not...
No, these three, they're just, the whole thing is just based off of her mom being Brandy, and she needs something to do. So the singing career hasn't lifted off yet, so we're going to start the podcast, and this is what the news told me to bring to this show. So that was I shouldn't have said that podcast.
Well, I went ahead and checked out some other things that she's doing on her YouTube channel. And one of the things that she's doing is she's using this app called Monkey. And what Monkey does, it does these random video chats with random people. This has been something that's been going on for a long time on the internet in various forms, but this is on your phone. You hop on there, it connects you to somebody. And what Brandy's daughter's decided to do here, I'll just call her Brandy's daughter. Brandy's daughter decides she's going to get on there and ask people, if she were a celebrity, who would she look like the most? All right, so she's trying to get people to say, you look like Brandy.
Hello. Hi.
Are you down for new friends?
Do I have what?
Are you down for new friends?
Oh, sure. We can be friends. But I have a question.
What?
Okay. If I had a celebrity lookalike, who do you think I would look like?
Maybe like SZA.
SZA? Okay.
That's the closest I can think of.
Okay, so what about like, do you know who Brandy is?
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
You don't see it? At all?
Well, surprise, bitch.
Everybody says I look like her. He was bored. He said I didn't look like her.
So immediately she gets on there. She's like, who do you think I look like? I don't know, SZA. Oh, what about Brandy? Like, okay. so fucking thirsty on this thing. All right, let's take 2 here.
Okay.
Next guy.
It's a good game.
If I had a celebrity lookalike, who do you think I would look like?
Queen Latifah.
What's that one singer? Aya, I think that's what her name was.
Aya?
Yeah.
I've never heard of somebody named Aya.
This is going great. What a fun video she's putting together for us. Really good stuff.
Fascinating.
The next guy after that says she looks like Harriet Tubman, which I thought was kind of funny.
That's hilarious.
That's not bad. So then she's starting to get desperate now, and now she's trying to force it in this next one.
She's so funny.
Thank you.
I'm here. Remember Coco Jones?
Oh, Coco. Okay. I got Coco. Brandy. I get Brandy a lot.
Oh my gosh, she do.
But you know what's crazy? People say that I look like Brandy, but they say that I'm like literally like a spitting image of her kid. Like people always be like, "That's Brandy's daughter," and if you tell her to look up Brandy's daughter, people think that that's me like every day.
I see the Brandy one more.
The Brandy daughter one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and people say I look like her like all the time.
What an
Google
asshole.
my mom.
I know.
Shut the fuck up, asswipe, and suck my cock.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She gets on this app. She doesn't get the answer she wants to hear.
Right.
She's just like, well, could it be Brandy's daughter by any chance? She's like, I don't know who that is. Sure. Why not?
I look like my dad. Jesus.
God, so stupid. So it gets to this point.
These people are idiots. Like,
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just on an app. They're lonely, bored people on this fucking app. We're going to talk to randos, and then she's calling them out.
So it's literally
Is
random
Ray-
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is Ray Romano's son doing this? Is is John Stamos' nephew doing this? Going, who am I related to?
Yeah.
Moesha.
That's funny. All right. I know the real reason why people tune into WATP. So without further ado, we're going to learn how to be the next it girl. And Brandy's daughter is going to teach us how to pull that off.
I'm just gonna tell you guys my tips and tricks, and you can see my kitty. My tips and tricks on what I did to glow up from this to now this. So I'm just gonna be telling you guys different things that I did to glow up, to finesse the game, to be the baddest in the room.
You guys ready to glow up?
Did you add the kids?
Nope.
So that they used the same drop, the Simpsons.
They did,
I
yeah.
think it's the Simpsons kids. That's
Well,
funny.
You're kidding.
No, it sounds like it.
She's saying this is what she used to look like. So she was much fatter.
Oh, Carl, part of me thinks that if you just wash your face, it might go right back to that picture.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like, because then when she shows this photo, it's hiding a lot. A lot of hair covering her face. It's from afar. There's a glare. So,
So this is when I was older.
yeah, doesn't it look like it's like her in her 30s?
God,
Okay.
my
So-
Harriet Tubman phase.
All right, so I realize I'm an old man on this, and I know that with YouTube, there's a lot of hard edits, a lot of quick cuts. I don't understand why. I don't know why you wouldn't just retake it. Watch this. The first sentence, the very first sentence, she's going to start talking about the maintenance phase of what you got to do to glow up. And she can't get through the first fucking sentence.
So the first thing that I want to talk about is when you first want to get into your glow up, you definitely want to have your maintenance schedule.
It's one sentence. The first thing I want to say is line. What?
Why is that? Do you think it's just somebody who edits it together for her? She just goes off for 5 minutes and then they just quickly do those YouTube quick edits? I don't understand why they do that.
This generation who's watching this, do they turn on like a news program and go, holy shit, how the hell did this? That guy just said 4 sentences in a row. How the hell are they pulling this off? This is incredible.
This guy's a pro.
This is amazing. No wonder he's on TV. This is amazing.
This is the norm now, though, when I go on YouTube.
I know it bothers me. Doesn't it bother you?
It does. No, it doesn't.
All right, let's find out what maintenance includes. Because I know I'm nitpicking about editing and stuff, but really we're here to be the next it girl. Mm-hmm. So we got to figure out what maintenance entails.
I personally like getting my nails done, my hair done. I like having my makeup done on occasion, but obviously you don't have to.
Okay. So we're talking about nails, hair, and makeup.
And clapping into the mic.
And clapping into the mic, yes. So let's start with makeup. How would you possibly learn how to do makeup correctly? Seems like a daunting task. I don't know what I would even do.
There's plenty of tutorials on this platform. There's plenty of tutorials on Instagram. There's plenty of tutorials on TikTok. There's all these tricks in the book. There's a lot of tips and tricks where you can step up your game in makeup.
No. For the people who are listening, while she's talking about this, she's showing some of these tutorials that are happening. There is a guy who put on makeup and they show the end result, and it's scary AF. I would not want to look like
horrifying.
This person. It's horrifying. It's in my nightmares, this person. And she's showing that as an example of you can learn how to apply makeup just like this gentleman does.
But also, that's just like, what do we need you for? If you're just going to direct us to the makeup tutorials, that's like a morning show saying, "Hey guys, check out fark.com."
Because BranDon, is that the secret? Fark. Let me write that down. Because BranDon, what you're not understanding is that it's not just about makeup; it's also about nails. It's also about hair. And let's talk about hair, because she thinks hair is very, very important, and she's going to explain how often she changes her hair.
But however you like your hair, try and keep that consistent. I mean, yes, I do change up my hair a lot. I pretty much change my hair up every 2 to 3 weeks. I definitely like keeping my hair up to date.
Every 2 to 3 weeks is keeping your hair up to date? I go with the hairstyle for decades. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I got it. I figured it out. Wow.
I was going to work in a frosted tip joke there, but that's low-hanging fruit.
BranDon, I bring you on here as a guest to the show. You know the one thing that bothers me.
I know, it hurts.
The one thing that hurts me more than anything, and you got to bring that up.
I apologize, Carl.
I don't know if I can. Should we just call it? I mean, we had a good run on WATP, right? Yeah. All right, I'll push through. So every 2 to 3 weeks, she's changing up hair, but you don't have to do that. She explains that might be excessive for everyone out there, but hair is extremely important, and she's going to explain why that is and what that means.
I'm telling you, you can walk in a room and you can have no makeup on, but your hair is a bomb, and you look just as good with a girl that has her hair and her makeup done.
All right, the math doesn't work out there. How is that possible?
That's false. That's a false statement.
That's a false statement. So if you have 2 things that are good on you, and another person has 1 thing that's good on her, that's just as good as the person who has 2 things. That's not true.
Stuttering John taught her.
I think so, right. No, if you do your hair at 2 p.m. and then at 5 p.m. you've done your hair 6 times. All right. So we haven't talked about nails yet. You guys ready to talk about nails?
I've been waiting.
Speaking of stuttering John, I think he might learn something from this segment.
We will talk about nails next, which is like kind of like a hit or miss. People tend to really like their natural nail. People love to have acrylic. People love to have gel X. There's so many different ways that you can get your nails done, but just keeping them clean, keeping them nice, that's definitely plays a really big part of how people are going to perceive you and how people are going to look at you.
Keeping your nails clean, huh? Interesting concept.
That's impossible.
Hey, Carl, general hygiene will help you become more attractive to the opposite sex.
Who is this general hygiene?
Sounds hot. So what she doesn't explain here, and I wish she would break it down further, is when you are wiping your ass and your hemorrhoids are bleeding and you get a lot of that hemorrhoid blood underneath your nails, then what?
Give up.
Don't go out that day. It's over. Okay, let's get into waxing. She goes to this place. I guess it's a chain wherever she goes. It's called European Wax Center. And she explains that she has very sensitive skin, so she can't really shave. And she doesn't do laser removal. She does waxing for everything. And she is so excited about this place.
But they really make you feel, relaxed. They don't judge you at all. In any European wax center, I am so blessed that God has created something like European Wax Center.
God created European Wax Center.
On the second day, I believe.
Is that their slogan?
The Lord hath created it for you.
I'm so glad God created European Wax Center. Okay, this goes on. I'm sorry.
Because that's what I do. I wax my arms, my legs, and everything in between. Okay?
What's in between your arms and legs?
Personal.
Boobs. Waxes her boobs.
For areolas.
Whee! Okay. This is where things get fucking nuts.
All right.
Hair removal is very personal. If you feel like you are that girl with underarm hair, rock it. If you feel like you're that girl with the leg hair, rock it.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's bad advice.
Really bad advice. Underarm hair and leg hair are both not good. You want to be an it girl or what? You're going to glow up. What are you doing?
Oh, my God. No, she has to be inclusive. That's just the way these things go these days.
Oh, yeah. You might be right about that.
She's like, rock it, but stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah, right. All right. Let's say that you do leave the pit hair going and you don't shave your legs or anything like that. you might smell kind of gross because things get trapped in those hairs. So that's when you want to get perfume. And she's going to explain to us how to get the right perfume for you.
And you definitely want to get a perfume that is very pigmented, very like very, very forward, where people can smell you.
A perfume where people can smell you. That's a good idea, actually. I never
Give
thought
me the
about
stinkiest
that.
one you got.
This does hark me back to a couple years ago with the vabbing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Using your pussy juice as a
little behind the ears.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I like that she goes, you're gonna want to get a perfume where people can smell it. Not that unscented perfume that they sell in all the stores. That's a ripoff.
That's been played out.
Just so you know. You're not getting your money's worth with that. Okay. Now, you might notice, I certainly noticed, that she speaks very well. And she's going to explain that this is part of being an it girl, is speaking properly. But I don't know if her community is going to be down with this. So we have to be careful. Tread lightly here.
The next category I want to talk about is dialogue. Now, this is a really important one, and it doesn't really matter where you come from. I mean, I know people come from all over the world, and you don't have to talk like this, love, to be feminine. Like, you don't have to put on a front or speak a different way. I know people come from different areas. Personally, I came from a very privileged area, so I do talk pretty proper, I guess people could say. I don't know. People sometimes be saying I'm whitewashed or something, but...
Whoa! She's talking white. Watch out.
And I think you're from England if you're saying "good day, love."
Right? Yes. You don't have to speak with a British accent. Okay, good. I had a misconception on that one.
You don't need to use that accent if you're from England. Come on.
That's great. All right. So I just have one more clip on here. I found the most important stuff because I want all of our audience to be it girls, even Kindy. I hope she's paying very close attention to all these tips.
The one thing that I do really want to say is keep your business private. That includes your personal business, and that includes what you are doing to make your financial income. When you're telling somebody what you're doing, basically it's like this. If you're not religious, I get it, but I'm religious. So what? If I'm talking about what I'm doing business-wise and what I'm making and financially what I'm doing, I just tend to see that in the world it kind of just manifests against itself. It's kind of like going like this instead of just keeping it to myself and God.
What does that have to do with religion? What is she talking about?
I don't know. She just said the G word again. So.
I didn't understand a single word she just said. I apologize for not following that one.
You're not supposed to tell people what your income is and run around bragging about that unless you don't believe in God.
Because, well, you don't want it to manifest itself against itself.
And why would that happen?
I don't know. God?
I need some explaining.
Just say God.
All right, I guess she's religious, so I guess I just don't get it.
There you go.
I'm not as religious as she is.
Crazy.
All right. Well, look at. I expect when we do our live show in March, I expect all the girls to be on point for that show. Rock your leg hair.
Yep. Nails, hair, makeup.
Perfume.
Oh, shit. Perfume, waxing.
Yep. And
wax those areolas.
Vabbing.
Don't be talking about your business. No, you said that. She didn't say that. You did. Don't do that.
Oh, gross.
Don't take your vagina juice and rub it on other parts of your body, ladies. Don't do that. We'll take care of that for you. We got it. That's our job.
Who are these podcasts? WAT.